Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace, healing, and light. And welcome back to another episode of Healing with Angelica's podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And if you are new to the show, welcome, beautiful souls. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest joining me today, speaker, author, and health activist Maryam Muhammad, as we'll be discussing today's topic, Heal Thy Life. Miriam, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm well, thank Allah. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is a pleasure. Thank you so much. Now, before we get started on today's amazing topic, do you mind letting our audience know just a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. I am the founder of Heal Thy Life, which is a non-for-profit for women and girls, where we deal with pretty much everything that falls underneath the umbrella of health. We deal with mental health, we deal with nutrition, we deal with past pain. We talk to girls about abuse and things that has happened to their lives and helping them get through that. I'm also an author, self-published author. I have 3 books and getting ready to launch my 4th one in the next 2 weeks. This one is my first one on nutrition. And gosh, it's so much that I do, but I'm gonna leave it right there for now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Jack of all trades. I love it. Praise be to Allah. Now, thank you again. And let's get started on today's topic, Heal Thy Life. Now, for my audience today, please do not hesitate to put any questions you may have for my guest today, Sister Maryam Muhammad, in the comment box below. We are basing this episode around women's health, but men are always welcome to ask any questions if you have it. So please do not hesitate. So on today's episode, again, we'll be diving into my amazing guest, Maryam Muhammad, journey into her beautiful brand, Heal Thy Life, as well as discussing the importance of women's health and why us as women must start taking control of our health and our healing. So I have a quote here from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He quoted, "A nation can rise no higher than its woman." And what I got from that was that the woman is the one who builds and brings in the new civilization. So if the woman isn't healed, then the children or the family that is coming from her as that new civilization will only be damaged goods. And that brings me to my first question for you, Maryam. So I want to just start off by discussing where your healing journey began with Heal Thy Life.
Well, with Heal Thy Life, it's been roughly a little over 15 years. Um, my healing journey, honestly, I can't even pinpoint when that actually began.
Mm-hmm.
But Heal Thy Life was established, I want to say a little over 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything in particular that started you on that journey? I know some people have um, situations that they may have been through that encouraged them to start some certain brands and stuff. So was there anything in particular that started you to want to dive into this field and name your brand Heal Thy Life?
I would definitely say the more my passion came forth is really what pushed me in the direction of healing women, of healing God's women, doing community outreach in the Vanguard class
Mm,
years ago was that spark. When you get exposure to what your passion is, if you don't know what your destiny is or your passion is, once that exposure happens, then comes the spark. And
mm,
that's what happened for me. As far as like things that I've been through in my life, I began to realize with the community outreach events that what Allah took me through in my life was for me to be a better servant of his women.
yes.
So it started to connect. Why did this happen to me? Why did I have to go through that?
Mm.
And having that why in the moment, I really understand that just having patience through the process, Allah will bring the why you had to go through it. And that's
Ooh.
what happened for me. And the more I became obedient to my purpose, the more my purpose showed up.
Ooh.
So I just, I became more passionate and just, I got to do this. So
Yes.
that's pretty much my journey, how it's really been.
Oh wow. All praises due to Allah. So you are just basically just serving your purpose.
That's right.
And just sounds like in the midst of just being in accord with nature, serving your purpose, you were able to create a brand, heal thy life from that. And I love it. All praises due to Allah. Yes, yes, yes. So why is it so imperative now that women learn to take more control of their health?
Oh man, we have been it's like we have a target on our backs, right? Not just because I'm Black. Now it's like you're adding more targets on my back. Being Black, being a woman, when it comes to medicine, no matter what color you are, just being a woman, you get the shorter end of the stick.
Mm,
Where the experimentation, where the I don't have time or the lack of resources to actually put in the investment into, let's figure out what's happening with the women's reproductive system. And then
yes.
those that live over here in the United States of America, due to just the way this country has displayed what nutrition should be like, and the 3 meals a day and the fast food restaurants, and it's putting all of us at risk.
Mm,
And the fact that you have this type of world, and then to add on to that, you really don't invest the time into how my system works differently from a man's.
yes.
So now we're subjected to different diseases and things that they're realizing is not inherited, but we express it because of environment.
Mm,
So how we would always say, diabetes is a Black person's disease. Well, it's actually, they're finding out it's not inherited. It's
mm,
literally due to diet, it's due to our environment, it's due to how you've learned to express your life. If we can just have a life change, that shift take place, we can begin the healing process, and we actually can do it expeditiously if we're just disciplined in
mm.
the process. But most importantly, women are really suffering. Women are really suffering health wise.
Whew. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I felt that so much. I always go back to the experience that I went through, just dealing with the medical system when I was carrying and with child, and just the just the lack of care,
Mhm. Mhm.
wanting to, as far as address my situations and things that I was going through. It made me really frustrated. Like, we go to these doctors, and you know we go to these doctors thinking that they could help us, but they can only help us as far as they can, for the most part.
Mhm.
And just learning from the experience that I went through, I wasn't going to get an answer from them. I had to go within and get the answer within myself, and that took me to think, as far as just women in general,
Mhm.
just being able to obtain the knowledge of yourself. You need to know
Absolutely.
your body. Like, there's
Absolutely.
no way that the doctor, you should depend so much on a doctor to know your body.
Mhm.
You should know your body. So I think what you said was very correct. And just with the society and the things that we're going through, just right now in this time, is very imperative, because, like I stated with the quote by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, no nation can rise higher than this woman. So if we don't get ourselves in line, and that also comes with our health,
Mhm.
we end up carrying that to our family and our children. So, yes, thank you so much for that. Praise be to Allah. Yes. Let me see here. Now, what is one, and I know it's many, but What is one of the biggest misdiagnoses when it comes to women's health, and why?
Bipolar. Being diagnosed with bipolar. Black women are at the top of the list for misdiagnosis with bipolar. And it's because if you look at our lives, if you look at what we've been through, we will be considered to be more emotional than any other culture or ethnicity on the planet. Well, we carry the pain from slavery
Mm,
and prior to that. So there's a reason why Allah had the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan develop the study guide Rising Above Emotions. That's something as a woman I have to master, because just based off of the science of what makes me me, our emotions are driven more than our
yes.
male counterparts. So
Mm,
just to understand that we are emotional, and which is not a bad thing. It's just learning how to control our emotions, learning what are your triggers, how do I heal from my triggers, what's going to stimulate me to respond this way, why am I responding that way. So
yes.
to understand that, and you sit in front of a doctor who is not of your ethnicity, is not of your background, and most times not even of your gender,
Mm,
have a conversation and you're saying, do I go from one extreme quickly to another? All of a sudden, I'm real happy. Then I become sad because I heard a certain song, or maybe I saw something on television that stimulated something. And sometimes I may not know why it stimulated that in me, but it's something that we carry on our DNA. Well, due to how I'm expressing my characteristic, you will diagnose me with bipolar. But there's no chemical reaction in my brain that now backs up or bears witness to or justifies you diagnosing me in this manner.
yes.
But you'll medicate me the way that you'll medicate the person who has the chemical imbalance, which will create the chemical imbalance in the person who really doesn't have it. So, this is why this is leading in the numbers of being misdiagnosed for bipolar. We're watching people get shot and killed in the streets. We're holding loved ones in our arms that are dying.
Mm,
We're watching loved ones die of cancer, unnecessary diseases. We're trying to get out of a condition that we feel trapped in. Then how do you expect for me to respond? One moment I might be real angry because
mm-hmm.
of something I just witnessed. And then the next moment I may be really happy because I might just see a glimpse of a light, or doesn't mean I have bipolar. It just
Yes.
means I need stability in my life. I need security in my life. I don't have a psychological disease. So that's why we lead in those numbers. And a lot of times they are misdiagnosed, and a lot of times they're misdiagnosed in young girls.
Mm. Ooh,
Yeah.
I am actually shocked that you even said bipolar. I would have never even have thought that that was even like one of the biggest misdiagnoses. Oh, and you hit the nail on the coffin with just us learning to control our emotions. Woo!
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am. I am daily trying to grow into learning how to respond effectively when I'm in the midst of a bad situation or anger. And I really thinking maybe you can elaborate a little more on it. Again, that's why I said it's important. It's important for us to know who we are. So when we do get triggered, we know why we're getting triggered or what caused us to be triggered,
Mm-hmm.
and then learn what to do to respond to that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my God, so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Now, when I think about bipolar, I hope I said, is it I want to say bipolarism or something like that. I feel like that's like the most scientific word, but
Right.
bipolarism.
That's fine.
Okay. When I think about bipolarism, whatever, but bipolar, I think about Nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sis, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I think, well, anyone who has a child before, right after I had my son, so many different emotions, hormones just everywhere. I had an imbalance with my thyroid problem, like,
Mm-hmm.
and what I came to realize going through the healing journey after having my son, I had a real bad nutrition problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like the food that I was eating, the things that I was putting into my mouth played a big part in how I was feeling and also my thyroid as well. So
Yeah.
let's talk about nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it important for a woman to maintain good nutritional habits to heal thy life? I just want to throw that in there.
That was nice.
Yes, ma'am.
So, um, depending upon the age of the woman determines what your nutrients, the nutrients that you need, right? What is most important for me? So younger women, you are looking at things like your minerals like calcium, your magnesium, your now that actually as women, period, we need that all throughout
Yes.
life. But you're looking at what is growing and developing inside of me that's most important right now. So you have a lot of brain activity that's taking place all the way up until you're about 28 years old. So between 25 and 28 for the female, the male 28 to 30, the brain is still developing, it's still growing. Even the area of the brain for you to make rational decisions is considered to not even be fully developed until you're about, for a female, anywhere between 25 and 28, for a male, anywhere between 28 and 30. So eating foods that feeds brain power, of course, we would think I need that all throughout life. Yes, you do, but it's most important where the brain is really developing and at different stages. So in the beginning of life, the first 2 years, because it's developing rapidly. So brain food is needed. Then you also need the food that's essential for your immune system. So as women, once we hit maturity, now your puberty, you're getting to the point now where I need iron because I'm
Mm.
losing iron every month. So now you're looking at what type of foods is going to give me that iron. And because of the way they grow foods now, you're not getting the same nutritional base that my parents got. You know what I'm saying? So we're
Yes.
talking years ago. And I'm thinking, not even when I was a child, the nutritional value is just definitely not the same. One, I can compare it to when I was in school, it was odd to see a child wear glasses versus today it's odd to see a child without glasses.
Mm.
So it's really showing you that the foods we're eating, the nutrients are either genetically modified or the soil the food is being produced from, it's nothing. There are no nutritional values there, so the food is not growing properly. So when you get in your 40s and 50s as a woman, now you really actually are looking at calcium, magnesium, phosphate, because you're entering now into premenopausal stage. So and your bone growth slows down at
Oh.
those ages. So in that during that time frame, you want to focus on vitamin D and calcium because you want to keep your bone health strong because the bone deteriorates every day and every day it builds up. But when we take those milestones, now the deterioration of bone, the speed is still the same, but the rebuilding process is not as fast. So that's why you want to eat foods that are good for that. So what I did actually in my nutrition workbook that's coming out in 2 weeks, I listed the foods that's needed for the age groups and what we need. And as far as health is concerned, nutritional value, what is it that I need for bone health? What is it that I need for cardiovascular disease? How do I prevent this from happening? Because as Black women, we lead in those numbers of
Mm.
cardiovascular disease. A lot of it is due to stress versus diet. Our diet is horrible, but our stress is just as bad.
Ooh.
So now we're deteriorating. We're killing ourselves from the inside out. We don't know how to let go. We hold on to so much. So just understanding that Disease enters the body through the mouth. So something, if you express a disease, is something that you ate or either how you eat that led you to that. So just keep in mind, as we're taught, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad stated that when the scientists wanted to die, they started eating 3 meals a day. So if we're starting off eating 3 meals a day, we're starting off with a habit of death,
Ooh.
not a habit of life. So we're expediting the process. So because I know when I was coming up, somebody dying in their 60s or 70s was unheard of. Now it's normal.
Yes.
So I'm sure, like when my mother was little, the lifespan was longer, and the lifespan is getting shorter and shorter because of how we eat. So we definitely have to pay attention. Women over 40 also need B12. Definitely omega-3 fatty acids, which is usually salmon, is power packed in that. So foods like that, and to learn what to stay away from, because even a woman having her cycle, some people say I crave chocolate or I crave sweets. Well, what the body does is the body is very intelligent. It's preparing itself for what it knows it's about to lose. So if women are craving chocolate, you're craving actually dark chocolate because it's high in iron. But we've been conditioned to go after milk chocolate, what has sugar in it, what now I'm creating fibroids in my system because I'm eating too much sugar, or red meat. So when you look at how you sit down and study how the body works, it has a defense mechanism and a preparation mechanism that this world has taught us to ignore. So we don't pay attention when our body sends off signals of, I need this, I need that. And most times when the body is lacking something, it sends you a signal of that which it's used to getting it from. So women who say, but I crave so much sugar, yeah, because you eat it all the time.
Yes.
It's like,
yes,
body that this is what we do. So we have to learn how to retrain the body to proper in its original nature.
Ooh, wait, Sister Maryam, you is on fire right now. I'm telling you, I needed to hear all of that. I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Oh wow, oh Jesus. So yes, our praise due to Allah. Thank you so much for that impactful information. And if you all are enjoying this episode just as well as I am already, please, please, please show your support by donating today to Cash App $ Healing with Angelica to help sustain future episodes just like this. I will also leave more info to donate on the screen below. Now let's get back to today's episode, Heal Thy Life with Maryam Muhammad. And also, if you guys have any questions, please again do not hesitate to put any questions you have in the comment box below. So yes, get your questions in. This is about women's health, okay? Yes. Praise be to Allah. So yes, wow. Oh no, okay. So I want to ask you, you spoke about we spoke about nutrition, and I was actually wanting to see if you could talk a little bit more about sugar. I believe sugar is a, how can I say this? Sugar is bad, I guess. Okay, bad, whatever. But can you just talk a little bit more just about the impact that sugar has on the woman's body?
Absolutely. So when we talk about sugars, you categorize them. What are bad sugars? What are good sugars? Of course, you have natural sugar that's found in fruits, vegetables. Anything you eat has carbs in it. There's no such thing as a no carbs diet. I wish they stopped selling that. Because it's like everything that's grown from the earth is going to have carbs.
Yes.
So, but carbs turn into blood sugar in our body. It's how we get energy.
Yes.
It's how we produce energy in the body. So what becomes bad sugar for us is refined sugar, your white sugars. So when you start thinking of your cookies, your cakes, unless you made them yourself and you put some brown sugar in it, but you should got to be careful with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Best sugar, of course, is cane sugar. Um, so when you start looking at your cookies, your cakes, cereal, your breads, if it's not whole wheat bread, toasted whole wheat bread, that makes a big difference. Um, those type of sugars, candy, the ice creams that we love. So
Yes.
those type of sugars, what it does is it's like a false high to the body.
Mm-hmm.
So you're lying to your body when you eat it. And it also creates fibroids in us, um, diseases like endometriosis, cancers of the reproductive system. When you look at a person's diet, almost all women who express those conditions and diseases have high sugar intake, have high stress levels in their life. It's not always genetic. I'm still personally researching why are we at the top of the list for
Yes.
fibroids though, because it's like one in every two. Like it's almost guaranteed a Black woman is going to express fibroids. I do
Yes.
know sugar feeds fibroids. Sugar and red meats feed it. So just always look at the bad sugars as I'm lying to my body, and this food substance is robbing me. Why would we want to eat something that's not feeding us but taking away from us? We don't need to do that. And to become more disciplined in that comes with, because in order for me to be disciplined with my food, I got to be disciplined with my life. If we stop allowing people around us who rob us from the essence of who we are, then we'll stop eating that way. So our eating habits is mimicking how we act every day, how much we value ourselves. Do we truly love ourselves? Because when we start making decisions, it's like, oh yeah, I want that corned beef sandwich, or yeah, I want this, I want that, I want this ice cream. I deserve that.
Oh, yes.
So what is your definition of what you deserve? You got to look at things like that, because it's nothing wrong with having a treat day. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we start making those treat days every day, or we start indulging too much in
Yes.
it, then now it creates a problem for us. So just understanding everything in moderation, but some things just get rid of, period, because it's killing you. And I mean, I've had women say to me, well, I'm going to die anyway. Well, I'm going to choose how I die. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that when you're born, you don't have a death date. You choose that death date. So I'm choosing to live for a long time, be it Allah's will. I'm not trying to die early because of disobedience. I don't care what religion you follow. If you eat incorrectly, you're still being disobedient. The Bible teaches you to take care of this vessel. It's this enemy that teaches you how to take care of it. You can't rely on the enemy of God to teach you how to take care of something that belongs to God. So it's like, and it really goes back to a nation can rise no higher than its woman, like you stated. And because the only thing I will say about that is we're not builders, though. As women, we're not builders. We're co-creators.
Yes.
So we're right. We're we assist, right? So we are nurturers. Absolutely. But remember, everything that is housed that makes up the woman came out of the man.
Yes.
So we don't. The only reason why I'm saying that is because I promise you, I've been on previous like radio shows and stuff. Men have been like, we start talking about women. Now we got to be feminists. And now it's like, oh, y'all left us out. We're not leaving you out. We love our brothers. But
yes,
in order for the brothers to get it together, the sisters got to get it together. So just understanding our roles and our places and how valuable we are. The woman is very valuable. The one thing that's in the woman that's not in the man is the uterus. He has a wound of his mind, as we have a wound of our mind, but we also have the wound that physically reproduces Allah's original production. So, and to even look at it now, having the perfected God in our midst today, then that means we're producing perfection if we're obedient. This is how we live longer. We don't have excuses anymore. We can now eliminate excuses because we have the perfected one. All prayers are answered. So it's just wanting to seek the knowledge, wanting to apply what we have learned. Get rid of excuses. Stop feeling like you're not worthy, you're not valuable. I cannot have this, I cannot have that. Well, if the God said it's for you, then why are you with the person who said it's not for you? No, that's your enemy. And even your own self. When we start thinking within ourselves, you know how it's that second and third and fourth thought that comes up after the first one that convinces you the first one was wrong.
Yes.
No, stick with the first thought and become a God, become the God that you are, and learn how to align all those thoughts together. That's what Allah did. So that's what we need to reproduce. It's really not hard when you put yourself in the seat of submission.
Yes.
I just want to submit to Allah's will, because as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad stated, nothing in this universe moves faster than the speed of Allah's will. Why would I want to attach myself to anything else?
Yes.
I'm trying to move unstoppable. Like, I want you to be able to stop me. So, it just knowing those things and falling in love with who we are, it really, really allows us to live our lives to the fullest and to understand pain is a part of the process.
Yes.
So pain is a stimulant. It's there for a reason. It brings about new life. And that's something as women we should really embrace, because we have the wound that makes us the co-creator with God. There's no life that can come on this planet that's a human being that can get here without coming through the womb of a woman. So that should make us feel extra special and extra valuable, and understand, as the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan said, we're a gift. We are a gift to this world. So learn how to treat your gift in the present time.
Yes.
Because we stay too long in that past moment. You can't change the past. You can learn from it. You can validate its existence, but you don't have to take it with you into your present or your future, because then you're torturing yourself if it's pain you couldn't handle in the past.
Drop the mic. So beautiful. All praises due to Allah, Sister Maryam. Thank you so much for that. That was so beautiful. I loved it. Yes. Now I did see a question down here, but
Okay.
I think it was just a broad question, but I did want to let this person know that this is not a sisters only broadcast. I did state that if brothers want to join, they can, and if they have any questions, they can. So you're free to ask any questions. We have about a good 15 more minutes left, so if you have any questions, just put it in the comment box below. So yes, Sister Maryam, I want to talk about I see you have a lot of different books. I've seen that you have an ebook called Healing Begins on the Inside. That really got me. That really, really touched my soul when I seen that. I'm like, ooh, yes. So do you mind telling us more about that ebook, and why did you choose that profound title?
Because during that time, it was actually during COVID. And during that time, I was thinking of and being exposed to different ways that we heal. How do we strengthen ourselves to be able to get through that pandemic? And when I began to really dive into that, it really led me to Healing Begins on the Inside. I was listening to one of the lectures of the minister where he talked about healing begins in the mind. And I'm like, yes. And thinking about in the study guides where the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan stated that the brain and the mind are to one, the mind, the brain is physical and the mind is spiritual. So to even understand language and how we're using the language. So if he said healing begins in the mind, then healing begins in the spirit.
Mm.
In order for it to be, in order to manifest what you see in a physical form. So, and it made me think about my grandmother, when my grandmother would always teach that to every physical, there's a spiritual side, there's a spiritual component. So, all the systems of the body, as the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan said, the 10 systems of the body, then there are, to every system, there's a spiritual counterpart to it. So, my circulatory system, if I express blood clots, there's some clot in my spirituality. So, if we start understanding it that way, we can really break the cycle of disease. And that is a passion of mine. It is a goal of mine. I pray to Allah to begin the process of breaking the cycle of disease in us. So those were things that I saw. And the booklet is dealing with your mindset. It's meditation, you know, it's how do I rid myself of this inner pain? And it's something you brought it up, because I just told somebody yesterday that I'm actually going to give the booklet away for free. So the I promise you, I just did this yesterday. So inshallah, by tomorrow, I will be able to just, you know, put it, I'm going to have it on the website. People can just go and download it along with our other magazines, Heal Thy Life magazine. When we used to do those,
Yes.
they're on the website for free too. So for the booklet, that PDF, I am going to put on the website and have it distributed for free.
Oh my gosh. Yay. Praise be to Allah. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for that. Look, good timing. Good
I know,
timing.
right?
Yes, praise be to Allah. Thank you so much for that. Yes, so whew, I know we just spoke about, oh, that is so deep. Just the fact that I was just made aware, even when you just said that, how you said every physical component has a spiritual component.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we can talk about that at a later time, but it made me think about the things I had went through with my thyroid. And I don't know, some people are into like the chakra thing and the energy sensor thing. And I kind of related that a little bit to just during that time, I felt very confined and couldn't voice my opinion, couldn't speak. I felt like I was suffocating in regards to not being able to speak my truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed even just with and maybe you can talk just a little bit about it. I don't know how you feel about that, or your feelings about just energy, chakras, and how that could possibly relate. But I believe since I was on the journey of healing and healing my thyroid, and then me coming out, being able to start this podcast, I feel like it had a lot to do with my healing, being able to express myself, because it's like a weight lifted off my shoulder, like, oh, okay, I finally talked about it. And then hearing other people is like healing to me. So if you don't mind, just elaborate just a little bit more on the spiritual and physical components of our health and healing.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Energy is real. That's something we need to definitely understand and accept. When you walk around someone and you feel uneasy, it's their energy that they carry. It's a vibration. So if you say to me, I felt like I was silenced, I felt like I didn't have a voice anymore. Well, and then you express now a condition with your thyroid gland. Well, the thyroid gland sits right in front of the vocal cords. There's vibration there, there's energy there. So if I have the lack thereof, then of course it's going to actually create an issue with what sits next to it. You know, what's in that area. there is no part of the human vessel that does not have a vibration. Absolutely no part. We are vibrational from head to toe. We have movement from to the smallest cell in the body. There's movement that takes place. So this is why we're taught to stay on a positive note. The Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan talks about it in Closing the Gap, where he quotes the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as far as energy flow, right? You know, we're looking at now, how many minutes does it take to flow completely through the process, through the body, in order for me now either for my countenance to change, either I'm happy or I'm sad. You drop something on me and now I'm walking around, my shoulders are drooped over. What happened to me? What happened in that energy now exchange? When it comes to the chakras and Reiki and things like that, a close friend of mine, Rachel, is the perfect person to discuss that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You should have her on your show. Rachel is awesome. She knows all of that stuff.
Send her my way.
Yes. Tanika, we have some beautiful sisters in the mosque that actually have mastered really the education, the knowledge base to that side.
Okay.
For me, when it comes to healing, I'm always really focused on what do I sense, just being empathic. What are you going through? How do we now rechannel that energy? How do you let go of certain energy that you're holding on to that does not belong to you? If we're taught to give our baggage to God, he says to bring it to him. Why are we carrying it or carrying someone else's? So we think that we're the ear for someone who can give you information that you cannot handle. You may not know how to deflect. When the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan mounts that rostrum, he feels everything that's in that room. That's why he can speak on every condition that's in that room. But he also knows how to let it go. When he leaves the rostrum, that energy leaves too. So it's like, because otherwise it will become self-destructive. So you have to know how to release energy that it's not meant for you to carry in that way. So as I stated with the blood clots, now there's a clot in the spirituality. There's a clot somewhere in your soul, some type of occlusion, some blockage that you've created because of a choice that you've made. So make the choice to let it go. Make the choice to heal from it. Every system of the body works that way. If we're talking about a weak immune system, then how has the spiritual side of my immune system become weak? Well, now I can't fight off negativity. I can't fight off the threat that's present. In some cases, I can't identify it because I've blinded myself by weakening the spiritual side of the immune system because I'm not feeding it the word of God. I'm not feeding it what it needs to be strong. That's the nutrients for the spiritual side of the immune system. I got to feed on God's word.
Yes.
I got to allow the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to come into my ear, because that's going to strengthen all systems of the body, but not just strengthen it. It's going to now realign it so that all my systems are aligned properly and working properly together. A lot of us just need a realignment. We need to learn how to let go of what's blocking the circulatory system properly working with the respiratory system, because I don't know how to breathe. So I'm breathing in negativity and I'm exhaling positivity. I'm breathing in reverse.
Yes.
But if you look at my life is in reverse. I'm eating 3 meals a day when I only need one. And this enemy will tell you you only need one, but he'll trick you into 3. So the enemy will tell you the digestive system takes 24 hours to digest and deliver what's needed to areas of the body. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the same thing. 24 hours for your food to digest. Does that mean it takes 24 hours for broccoli to go from your stomach to your small intestines? No, it means it takes 24 hours completely for the broccoli to now transition through the body. Now it's being absorbed by the small intestines, and it's listening to see what part of the body, what area needs the nutrients that was in that broccoli. That takes time. Don't rush the process. We've become so impatient. I can Google something and get an answer. Well, that's not how your body works. It doesn't work that fast. I'm not going to say it didn't work that fast trillions or millions of years ago. I'm not going to say that, because we're not where we were back then.
Yes.
There are more impurities on this planet. There are more pollutions on this planet than it was back then. Now, just imagine trillions of years ago, we had an emotional problem, right? We blew the moon from the earth. Now, trillions of years later, I'm eating the wrong foods. What type of emotional problem am I having now? So we're still at a level of emergency. We're functioning outside of our nature, and Allah has come to put us back where we're supposed to be. Our obedience is the key to our realignment. So, yes.
Woo!
Praise be to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Oh my gosh. Praise be to Allah, Sister Maryam. That was so beautiful. Like,
Praise
really, you
praise be to
well, you hit the nail on the coffin with every last thing you said.
Praise
oh my God.
be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Sister Maryam, I just want to thank you so much for joining me today to discuss this well-needed topic, Heal Thy Life. I would also like to thank my amazing audience in Healing Tribe for joining us today. I pray that this episode was informative, valuable, and healing for you all. Also, be sure to make sure you share, like, and follow and subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming episode on any of your favorite podcast station. Closing the Gap Broadcast Network on Facebook and YouTube, and Healing with Angelica's podcast on Facebook and YouTube to help get the message out to those in need of healing.
Yes.
Also, if you are in need of start your healing journey, I am offering a 90-minute consultation call that will include a copy of my ebook, Heal Yourself, for free. More information will be in today's show notes, also including information from my amazing guest today, Sister Maryam Muhammad. Also, I think I have your website down, so people can grab a copy of all your books for one, and the Healing Begins Within, and your nutrition book that comes out in 2 weeks. I really need to get that. I think also, personally, I see my grandmother and older women in my family. I think a lot of not being knowledgeable up in nutrition is really affecting their health. So I am looking forward to that book, sister. Yes, I am. So yes. Now, before we end today's show, do you have any closing remarks for our audience today?
Of course, as you put at the bottom, our pages, all social media pages, are HTLC19. The website is htlc19.org. We will be announcing, we're going to be doing our retreats. We're bringing back our women healing retreats. So we will be announcing that we're going to bring them back for next year. But in the next couple of days, we're going to start putting up information. So just follow our pages for that. And of course, continue to follow my sister's page. That was so graceful to put me on her show.
Yes.
Everything. Okay. Because this is not easy. And I definitely understand it's not easy to maintain, because what will happen is, and another conversation I just had yesterday, we find a lot of businesses not lasting because of the lack of support, and what you offer is absolutely needed. It is absolutely needed. And it's not easy to financially maintain, because I know for me, I pay for websites, I pay for phone numbers, I pay, the finances begin to add up. Yes. And people so really need to understand to definitely support you and make those donations so you can continue doing what you're doing.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. I I can tell we can relate.
Yes.
Yes, so I can tell we can relate. And also I remember you are, if you are I know you said something about, I checked your Instagram, you are starting to want to take a class, or you need a class. Yes,
Yes.
if you don't mind talking about that and
Yes.
support my sister so she can continue to help us heal. We need more healers.
Yes.
Yes.
I did. I did a video posting my Cash App, which is HTLC19.
Yes.
But because, inshallah, I begin the Masters of Nutrition program in the fall at UIC. And there's one food class I have to take before I enter into that program. So I was asking supporters to give a donation. That class is $2,000. And so far, I've raised $400. All praises due to Allah. So I'm like, I'm still
Yay.
pushing. I do believe that this is the path that Allah has me on.
Yes.
Every time you get to the point where you think it's not going to happen, don't let doubt enter into that. Doubt blocks prayer. So to just continue to move out on whatever you feel that Allah has in you, He will provide a way. And I bear witness, even in my previous schooling, where I majored in biomedical sciences and nutrition. Every time that tuition bill came, Allah produced the finances to pay that tuition bill.
Ooh,
So I'm like, I don't have a worry in my soul. I know
yes.
Allah's soldiers will show up.
Yes.
You know, it's His will. I truly believe it's His will. So yes, I am collecting,
Yes.
raising.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I love it. Oh my gosh, you just gave me just so much energy, just hearing you and then hearing your journey and your story and all this valuable information. Like, I cannot wait to go back and listen to this in its entirety. So yes, ma'am. And thank you again so much, like I said, for joining me today. It was such an amazing time joining forces with you. And yes, yes, yes. And also, I just want to give a special. I want to give a special shout out just to my viewers and those that has been supporting me from day
Yes.
one.
That's
I
important.
really, 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 truly appreciate every last person that takes time out of your day just to view my shows, because it I'm still trying to work on being able to catch people's shows and being, because
Mhm.
I want to be, getting in the habit of that. But, life and time can get so hectic. So I just want to give a special shout out to my beautiful healing tribe and those that has been here from the beginning. And yes, 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 inshallah, Healing with Angelica will soon be blossoming
Yeah.
soon. So yes, ma'am.
Yay.
So yes, Sister Maryam,
Keep it
thank you
going.
again. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you again for joining me, and thank you for my healing tribe for joining us today. And I'll leave you all as we came. Assalamu alaikum, peace, healing, and light.